I just couldn't get enough of that intro.
Damn it,
That intro. Had to
boy.
play it a few times. Good evening, everybody. It's We Talking About Sports here. We're here with another Wednesday night live where we take you guys every week through the upcoming slate, talk a little fantasy football, and all the news that happened in between Sunday and today. Without further ado, I'm Roland Zamora, and I'm joined here by Ron and Ben. How are you guys doing today?
I am doing great. It's been a while. I want to give my public apology to my boys Roland and Justin and Ben for missing our Sunday shows the past couple weeks. Public apology because it's so it's real. Sundays is our best show at 10 a.m. and I've missed those, but I'm back and I'm excited. Wednesday night live, waiver Wednesday, whatever you want to call it. I'm excited, boys. Good to see your faces.
I'm glad you missed this past week because let me tell you, it was brutal. Honestly, I've been doing pretty good with my picks up until this past week, but completely washed away all the good that I had done in the weeks prior. So I'm glad you weren't here to witness that.
Yeah, glad to have you back, Ron. The Saturdays have been fun, huh, partner?
Oh, too fun. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
That's good. Well, glad to have you back. Glad to have you back. Little Wednesday show never hurt nobody, so let's do it, boys.
Sir. Hump day, baby.
And without further ado, this message is brought to you guys by our friends at Top Grade Physical Therapy, and here's a little message that they have for you guys.
Get in top grade shape with Top Grade Physical Therapy. Let Dr. Rufino Gutierrez and his team give you the manual therapy you need. Soft tissue massages, joint manipulation and mobilization, trigger point dry needling, cupping, plus much more. Visit Top Grade Therapy today, 2801 West Expressway 83, Suite 210 in McAllen, or call 956-854-4364. It's not physical therapy if it's not top grade. No.
Hell yeah. It's not physical therapy if it's not top grade. Welcome to the team. We appreciate Top Grade Physical Therapy. If you guys want to be part of our team, let us know as well. And we're all going to join together, do some great things for the show, great things for the pod, and I'm looking forward to it. And the only way we can do that is with everybody joining in. So much appreciated to Top Grade. And, let's go, man. I know you guys are ready. I'm ready.
All right. Without further ado, there was some news that's broke in between Sunday and now. Some stuff has gone down. We're here to talk about it. Subtle, maybe big move. Not sure what you guys think about it, but Robert Quinn traded to the Philadelphia Eagles from the Chicago Bears. Robert Quinn, I think he led the league last year in sacks, 18 and a half sacks, has only registered one sack this year, so the numbers are down. He's 32 years old. Got to think some of the ability is still there. Got to think this is Philadelphia just loading up, getting another situational pass rusher. What do you guys think about the move? Do you think it moves the needle any, or are you just, giving Philadelphia kudos for stacking up?
I mean, I think it's a good move for Philly. They're going all in. They're the only undefeated team, still left. Adding to that defense, who's already pretty mean. They get a lot of turnovers. And interesting enough, bro, I think that we're going to see a lot of this. There's been names like Bradley Chubb. The Broncos might be sellers if they lose this week. So this is one of the first dominoes, pretty big name guy, like you said, led the league in sacks last year. Who doesn't want to add another pass rusher? We always said that's you can never get enough pass rushers. So Eagles are going for it.
What about you, Ron? As a Cowboys fan,
I saw
does this
was
worry
that
you anymore?
Yeah, I mean, I don't fucking like it, obviously. But what I had heard was it was a great financial deal for Philly. I think the Bears are paying most of his contract off, so it's not a big hit to their wallet. They get to beef up their defense with, not OG, but an older guy, like you mentioned, 32 years old. It toughens up their D with an offense that's already explosive. They're sitting the top of their division in the NFC East, and they add another weapon. I mean, this could be a move that we look back at and, say he has a great second half, and we say, damn, the Eagles did the right thing. They made the right move, and that's what, won him the NFC Championship or got him to the Super Bowl or whatever the case may be. But props to Philly here. Other names I was hearing, Ben, too, was possibly Jerry Jeudy. It's a big week for the Broncos coming up. They don't have a good record. Their coach isn't great. So I heard Jerry Jeudy along with the defensive player for the Broncos that you mentioned potentially on the block.
Well, this is that time of the year where teams are going to be loading up, or other teams are going to be deciding to cut some losses and look forward to next year into the future. So we will be here to bring you guys all that news. But speaking of moving to the future, we do have another move that happened this week. It's not related to a transaction, but rather a depth chart move. New quarterback in Indianapolis. Sam Ehlinger has been named the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. Matt Ryan has been benched. Guys, the question that I pose to you is real simple. How do you view this trade? Is this a season saver, or is their season over?
Ben,
I'm a huge Longhorns fan, but not even I have much hopes for Sam Ehlinger, man. I mean, great college quarterback, maybe like Tim Tebow-ish type, I would say. Not really going to translate into the NFL. I'm as a Michael Pittman owner, I'm sad, bro. I'm very, very sad.
Cheer up.
That was a lot of draft capital for a guy like Mike Pittman. You know what I mean? And now we got Sam Ehlinger in week 7, week 8. I mean, not good for the Colts. Still in the playoff hunt. You know, I hope he proves me wrong, but I don't see it, man. I don't see it. They've been searching for a quarterback, you know, the last couple of years, trading for guys that most people think that their careers are over, and they're there sending first, second round picks for guys like Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz. So I just don't think that they got it. Nope.
Yeah, I think he might be the 8th starting quarterback since Andrew Luck walked out. 7th or 8th, something like that. But Ron, what say you about this? Do you have more faith in the boy?
I think you're in the same position. You know, the quality of quarterback that you're getting the guy on his way out, and you're getting the really green quarterback, you know, in Ehlinger. So I don't know if it benefits the team at all. I just think that you have to do it now because, you know, it's the second half of the season. This could be a move where you want him to learn the offense more and just get ready for next season. Jonathan Taylor is, you know, fantasy god, but this year, nowhere really to be found. Pittman, like Ben said, is somewhat of a bust as well. I think the Colts as a whole aren't going to be great the rest of the year. So you put him in, you see what he can do, and if he turns the thing around, you look like a genius in the front office, or the coach, whoever made this, you know, decision. And if he doesn't, you can say, well, you know, it is what it is. So it's really not a big risk here for the Colts to make this move.
Yeah, you know, to me, this is a very, very, I guess, how can I say, gentle topic, or very, what's the word that I'm looking for? Anyways, I can't find the exact word for it right now, but
sensitive.
Very sensitive topic right now, and the reason being is because look, they're 3-3-1. They're not completely out of it. Yes, have they lost to the Titans twice? Or is it going to be hard for them to jump the Titans and win the AFC South? Yes, it's going to be damn near close to impossible unless the Titans completely tank the rest of the year. So they're still live to win the division, no matter how far-fetched it might be, and they're definitely very live to make the playoffs. So when you're making this move to go to Sam Ehlinger, I mean, it's a very weird message to be sending your locker room full of veterans that are, you know, fighting to try and make the playoffs. How do you tell a guy like Shaq Leonard, like, hey Shaq, we're gonna wrap it up halfway through the year. We're going with Sam Ehlinger. We don't care what's gonna happen. So to me, this move is it's coming down from the owner. I think Matt Ryan was another guy that Frank Wright wanted to bring in to try and save himself as a coach. I think he would have wanted to stick with Matt Ryan. I mean, the way that he was sticking up for him throughout these past press conferences. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy how much he was sticking by him, but nonetheless, that was Frank Wright's guy. So I think this is Irsay telling Frank Wright, hey, let's put in Ehlinger. Let's find out what we have. If we don't have anything, we're going to tank and we're going to draft one of these quarterbacks that's coming out of the draft. Yeah, and fire you too after tanking. So, I
you better hope Ehlinger works out, Frank. Right?
Yeah, because dude, and I mean, I feel bad for the players because they're 3-3-1. I mean, they still have a chance. That's the whole thing with this.
How do you tell T.Y. Hilton we're going to Sam Ehlinger? Huh?
Hey, he's gone. But how do you tell your boy Mike Pittman? But Pittman will be around to see another quarterback, so it's fine for him. But it's just, it sucks shooting, ending the season so early.
We've seen this from Frank Reich before, though. They were on Hard Knocks last year, and he had this like infatuation with Carson Wentz, and
he was obsessed with Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz is like the son that he always wanted or never had, or Another one, I don't know, man, but his relationship with Carson Wentz was crazy close. And you can see that he had that with Matt Ryan as well. So for him to go to Ellinger is kind of strange. But guys, let's just be honest here. Matt Ryan wasn't doing a damn thing in through 5 games, 6 weeks, whatever it is. He had 9 passing touchdowns with 9 picks. He's only thrown for 2,000 yards. He's been sacked 24 times. I think I might even saw a play where he fumbled and fell.
That's a good point, Ron.
It's just ugly.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been playing very well either. So you are 3-3-1, and are you telling yourself, if I leave this guy in, are we gonna go 3-5 and 3-6? To where I can go
That's
to
a good
Ellinger.
point,
Maybe
yeah.
It's just Matt Ryan's play just isn't there. And you can't say that he doesn't have weapons. Jonathan Taylor was only out for a game or two. Pittman was out a little bit, but he's back. They have a young receiver who went off last week. I don't know what his name is. So the potential's there, but I mean, it's kind of the Baker thing, where they have a solid team and then Baker's out, and then look what happened in Carolina. They beat the Bucks. So it's I don't want to be cliche, but monkey see, monkey do kind of league.
He's done. Matt Ryan is done. Yeah, he's done. I think this is the end of Matt Ryan, right? I think this is the last we've seen of Matt Ryan in the NFL.
I agree. And I just will say the 24 sacks, I mean, that's pretty egregious for any offensive line this far in the season. But to that,
he doesn't help them, bro.
I will say Ellinger is more live back there at least. He can move around. So maybe hide some of that offensive line problems they've been having. But hey, we'll see what's going to happen. It's a midway point. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe Ellinger saves their season. And
hook him, right, Ben? Hook him, baby. Hook him.
All right. Well, let's see what we got up next. We're going to do a quick look here at the lines ahead like we've done the last couple of weeks. Up here, I have the first couple of games up on the board, starting with that Ravens and Buccaneers game. That's where I'm going to start just because the Buccaneers, they just got off losing to the Panthers. They were 13-point favorites, lost to the Panthers. Mike Evans was being questioned about giving autographs to referees after the game, although they were talking about golf lessons supposedly. But he had one of the biggest drops of the year fantasy-wise and probably for that game, probably set the tone for the team. But to me, I kind of like the Ravens to go into Tampa and win this game. The Buccaneers just ruled a bunch of guys out on the injury report. We know Tom Brady doesn't practice on Wednesdays to begin with, so he's going to go into this game with a day of practice. I like the Ravens in this spot. Are there any other games that pop out to you guys, or you got anything on that game I just talked about?
Just me. I'll go because it's on that same game. I actually like the overs here. The Panthers just scored a bunch on the Bucs. Their defense was nowhere to be found. We know the Ravens have always had a solid defense, but their secondary is what's weak. It could be I don't want to say trap game or anything like that, because the line is only -1. But you could see Tom Brady, in the offense click a little bit. They've heard it all. This is the worst point in Brady's career record-wise, and the offense looks terrible and this and that. And we know what the Baltimore Ravens can do on offense as well. Lamar has big weapons. He's, mobile quarterback. They can put up points also. So at 45.5, I like it. I'll buy the hook to 45 and just hope for a lot of scoring here.
Do you have an opinion on this game, Ben? Either way, total aside?
The Ravens getting points, as bad as the Bucs have looked. The Ravens have had some trouble closing out games, but the Bucs really haven't even been in position, to win games lately. It hasn't looked good for their offense at all. I would lean Ravens. Haven't really looked into it much, but I'm saying just off of current form, sure. I would say it's got to be Ravens or nothing, especially because they're catching a point.
Yeah, they did go into New York and lose to the Giants, so 20-24. We got to remember that as 6-point dogs. But the Bucs are just bad right now, boys.
They are.
Yeah, they are a team in disarray. Ben, is there any other game here on this list before I go to the next slate of games that you might want to take early before the line moves? Anything you think might get out of hand here?
No, I don't. I'm not really liking anything on this page, to be honest with you.
Well, I don't know. I had a bad week last week, so maybe it's not so good that I like stuff on the board so early.
You
But
like the board this week?
let me tell you,
I
I
kind of like the
like the I
Dolphins.
like the Dolphins against the
Dude,
Lions.
yeah, roll
I like
it.
the Dolphins against the Lions here.
Jinx, you owe me a coke.
I get it. We're going into Detroit, where Jared Goff has been comparable. He's been competent at home. It's usually on the road where he's a complete mess. But I just think the Dolphins, from a power rating standpoint, are a much better team. Tua is going to be a week healthier. The defense for the Lions, outside of a couple of flash plays, maybe from Hawkinson here and there, they've been a complete mess, not stopping anybody. Yeah, give me the Dolphins here. They're laying 3.5 on the road. That's tough. You never like to do that, but got to think of this was in Miami again. Add 3 points. Miami might be 6 points better than this team.
DeAndre Swift, full participant in practice today, so she should be coming back. Amon St. Brown, limited practice concussion. So I think he's the biggest thing. Like, obviously, he's their best weapon. You know what I mean? And since him and Swift have been out, the Lions started off really hot to start the year. It was like, oh, the Lions are playing take the over. Their offense can get it, and they're giving it up. They're still giving it up on defense, but, with the loss of Swift and even Williams, he slowed down scoring touchdowns.
We got to be done with, and that's my other side to this too, is I've backed the Lions a lot, and maybe this is just me being burned in the past, but Dan Campbell is a horrible coach. Like, I regret putting money on the over 6 regular season wins. I, talked myself into the offense, which the offense has been competitive. It's been the defense has been the problem for them. They haven't been able to get a stop, or they haven't been able to stop a nosebleed or whatever. But Dan Campbell is such a situationally horrible coach. He proved it last year time and time again, and he's proving it again this year. You can't trust the guy. So in a close game like this, give me the Dolphins.
You're not running through a wall for Dan Campbell, Roland?
Not anymore. I'm starting to question if I'm running through the wall just to run through the wall, or if I'm taking a bite out of that kneecap just to take a bite. Like, what's the point of all of this, Dan? Like, you got to have me set up to win. And I'm not just doing this just to do this. So I don't know. That's mine.
My favorite play here would be Dolphins parlayed money line, because it's got to be, at least minus 3.5 usually gets you what, like minus 180, something like that.
There on the far right.
Oh, you're not worried about them losing.
Yeah, there it is. Minus 180. Yeah. So I won't have to worry about the spread. I like it. I'm not going to bet against a team who's lost their last 4 games in a row. They scored no points against New England, only put up 6 against Dallas. They might have a little bit of resurgence. Like Ben said, they were one of the teams at the beginning of the year to take on the over. But we saw, to me, in that game after the Steelers, we saw Tua's interview, or at least I did. And it was like, dude, that guy has the team like in the palm of his hand. They'll go to war. The way you guys were talking about how people would go to war for Dan Campbell, he's earned so much respect from that team. And let's not forget the weapons that he has as well. Even if they fall behind for some reason, you can still count on their big plays from their receivers and their offense. So I'm taking the Dolphins all day. I might even buy the hook to -3, but I love it in the parlay at minus 180.
Hey, well, I hope that they're willing to die for him, because he almost died for them out on that field a couple of weeks ago, bro. So
yeah, and he wasn't holding back. He wasn't holding back against the Steelers either.
He took some hits. Running.
He went out, and it's quite reckless. But Tua, he's going to go out there, and that's part of the reason why the players they like to play for him. So
yeah, seeing that the over is at 51 too, Vegas is expecting some points.
Yeah.
And in the game where the over is at 51, you have to lean Dolphins. I mean, they have the better offense in my opinion. So give me the better offense with an over under like that.
Yeah, and the last game on this slide that I want to touch on briefly is Ron just mentioned it with a high total. Just another game with a high total on the same spread, over 49. I lean Vikings -3.5 at home against the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals, another team, just situationally, they're kind of in disarray. I know they're better on the road, but I just don't like them in this spot against the Vikings, who are coming off of a bye that they didn't play this past week. So they're coming off of a bye. I think they match up well. The Cardinals have some problems in the secondary. So give me the Vikings here too. It's another one I'm leaning. So
Roland liking the board.
Yeah, I'm liking the board. It's a problem because, like I said, I think I went 0-3 in my 3 spread picks last week. So first time I've done it this year, but it happened.
I saw that, and I'm kind of worried just because the Cardinals finally put it together a little bit last week, and the Vikings.
Hopkins stabilizes their
yeah.
offense a little bit for sure.
And the Vikings are coming off a bye, and I don't know if they're gonna come off that bye, rested and ready to play, or kind of like, hey, we're undefeated in the division, we have a good record. Not that they would look past the Cardinals, but the Cardinals are a team that can sneak up on you and late game field goal or anything like that. So I love the Vikings. I have them to win the NFC North in a future parlay. So you would think I would go with them, but I'm chilling on that game. It's just it's a little scary for me.
It's a good spot off of the bye, you know what I mean? And the Cardinals are feeling themselves a little bit after getting a win against the Saints team that really, I mean, like, the Saints are a big letdown this year as well. Yeah. And even Andy Dalton had like 4 touchdowns against them. So, yeah, if Kirk Cousins, I mean, this is not a primetime game, right?
Not a prime time. It's 12 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Not that many people will be watching. It'll be on the red
It's
zone.
A go.
So,
it's a go.
It's a go for sure. Yeah. Anybody going to be a degenerate and play this Denver and Jacksonville game? I assume we all will. But
hey, with the way Russ is, taking the game preparation, high knees down the airplane aisle while everybody's sleeping, stretching out of the 8 hours.
Let's ride one more week.
Let's fly. He was 30,000 feet in the air doing high knees, cuz.
I got to back the Tottenham Jaguars here. I like them in this spot. They're frequent flyer.
Hey, Roland, you're going back to the Jags again? They just bit you in the ass last week. Don't you do that, Roland.
Hey, you guys got to stop me. I'm glad we're talking about this now. You guys
are they favored again? No, Roland. Never the Jags is favored. Roland, we talked about this.
I know.
Last week.
Probably can't do it, but we'll see. Let's move on to the next slate of games. This includes the Monday night game, Bengals versus Browns. This slide here, the one game that pops up to me, and this is just because I've been wrong on these teams the whole year, and I'll probably stay away. Giants and Seahawks.
I knew you were going to say that fucking game.
Giants.
I want to talk about that game.
Giants and Seahawks. Ron, you wanted to talk about it?
That's an interesting game, bro. That's a good game.
What's
Giants
your opinion on this game?
Giants money line all day. I like it.
Really?
Dude, okay. I like it. I think that the Giants are for real, man. They're playing really well.
Ron.
I mean, that's because they're in the NFC East, bro. The NFC beasts. We got fucking 6-1. So what? 6-0, 5-1s. Cowboys are right there too. But I believe in the Giants this year, and I believe in them because it's fucking super cliche. It's just they never quit, bro. They're always there, and they're finding ways to win this year. Saquon looks like the old Saquon. Danny Dimes is, has more rushing yards than Najee Harris, which I know Ben's gonna get into later. And just give me the Giants. DK's banged up. He's out. And I don't know if Tyler Lockett and those other guys,
He's Goodwin.
Yes, great pickup there, and their running back is going off too. So, I just think why not? Maybe Giants +3. Rolling your favorite word, the T word, little teaser. I love the Giants in the teaser here. So that's my take. I like the Giants money line spread, teased, whatever it is. Give me the Giants.
We're gonna see that on your card on Sunday.
We're gonna see that on my card on Sunday.
Bro, that's crazy though. The respect that Gino's getting.
Are you back with Gino as a 3-point favorite, Ben?
No way in hell. I backed the Giants as a 3-point dog last week against the Jags. I'm gonna do it again this week. I like the money line call out. They're just always within one possession, bro. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of games, Dan Orlovsky tweeted out. He was looking at film. He said Brian Dabble is a sicko for this. He's crazy. He ran 11 power plays in a row on that last drive, bro. And just fed Saquon.
Left side, right side.
He had more yards that last drive than he had the whole game. And they just drove down there. And then after you run power that many times, hey, play action. Danny Dimes. Like, bro, they're playing good, conservative football. They're well coached, and they're sticking around. You got to
Yeah, I think the main point is what you'd mentioned lastly is that they're well coached. Dabble and his play caller know exactly what they're doing, and they're putting their players in winning situations. So I got to give it up to the Giants. I was wrong on them last week, but they're definitely well coached.
I'm gonna they're on the road. They're 3-0 as an underdog or a pick. They're 5-0. When the spread was +1.5 to 4.5, 1-0. Road underdog 3-0. I mean, after 8 days. After 8 or more days off, they're 5-1. I mean, they're
stars are aligning, Ron.
And if they win this week, they're all but in the playoffs. They're all but in the playoffs.
Yeah.
This week.
Yep. What would they go to? 7-1.
7-1. 7-1.
That is wild, bro. No
Midway through
Galladay, no
Yeah.
Tony. The other dude got hurt. The only other guy that they were throwing to, Shepard,
Midway-
or I don't know who it was, but that's crazy.
Sterling Shepard. Midway through the year, would we be sitting here saying that the Giants were 7-1?
Nope.
No shot. No shot.
No
Hey, on
shot.
here though, I mean the Bills
What
are
would you
off
like?
a bye. The Bills are
Woo!
off a bye. Right now, I think the Packers just look like food, bro, to anybody they're playing. I mean, Tyler Heineke, went out there and beat them. So Terry McLaurin had himself a game. I couldn't believe that the Commanders beat the Packers. The Bills, though, what is that, a -11 on there?
11. I said the same thing, man. -11. You can't even
Yeah.
get them in a money line parlay on some books. It's so high, bro.
Yeah.
The books that don't let you parlay teams that have a more than 10 spread.
Those 3-team 10-point teasers, though, a little good spot for it. But also, I mean, I just like them to win by margin, bro. I think that it's in Buffalo. The Packers, yes. Was it a bad loss last week? Yes. But you're not going to go bounce back against the Bills off a bye week.
And
I
not with
think
Aaron
that-
Rodgers as your leader either.
And just the weapons, man. Like, it's just not there. There's no chemistry with him and the rookies. And now Cobb, I believe he's still injured. I think the Bills are going to handle them. I mean, I know I've said that most of the weeks, but at least it's come true most of the weeks. But yeah, 11, for sure, 2-touchdown game.
You've been all over those large lines.
The Bucks bit me in the ass, though. The
Yeah,
Bucks
for
bit me
sure.
in the
But
ass last
you've been on those. I think you cashed that one with the Bills a couple of weeks ago pretty
Yeah.
easily.
-14.
I'm not too much for taking big lines in the NFL, but I like this. So you got a -11 spread. The total's pretty high, so you got to think that there's going to be points scored to where they will cover that margin. And I just don't like Aaron Rodgers' comments this past week. He said that players that are getting reps need to start having their reps cut if they're not performing. Like, I get going out and saying stuff like that in the locker room or to the coaches internally, but when you're like going out to the Pat McAfee show and making all these comments and saying that the Commanders didn't do anything special to stop you, like you guys just, I don't know. I don't like the tact that he's taking. It doesn't lead me to believe that they're going to make adjustments that they need to win. So I like your side here. That's all that I'm saying.
I think
He's not out there saying just relax anymore.
Yeah, no,
He's
definitely.
Pointing fingers.
Yeah,
He's pointing fingers. now.
The tone has changed, definitely.
I think he even went as far as saying something like they shouldn't be getting any reps at all, or they shouldn't be on the field or something like that. That they shouldn't be on the field. And real quick, I don't know what y'all's take on this. I know you said something, but is this where it was very, and Rodgers is known for this. It's very like, you did this, you did that, you messed up. And it's never like how every other quarterback, we as a team, as an organization, he's very like, hey, it's not me, bro. I'm back-to-back MVP. I won a Super Bowl. Y'all this and y'all that. I mean, is that good? Is that bad? Or it's just Are you liking it that he's kind of being honest and not doing the conventional like we organization team?
But I think everybody's always known that he's an asshole. Bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, the dude don't even talk to his own family.
I think the results are when you have a guy like that and the tack that he's taking, it's going to be on opposite sides of the spectrum. The results here, it's either going to go really, really bad, like a guy like Romeo Dobbs is going to be like, shit, this guy hates me. What am I going to do now? And he's going to completely fall off the rest of the year. Or these guys are going to respond and they're going to improve their play. But I don't know. I don't personally like it myself. And I'm just, that's where I'm at with it.
Another game real quick I really like are the Titans. The Titans and the Texans game. The Titans are 4-2 and the Texans are 1-4. Derrick Henry has been a beast the last couple of games. He kind of fell off weeks, 3 and 4, but the last couple he's been doing really well. They're feeding him the ball a lot more. So at only -2 going into Houston, I think I might close my 2-team parlay with the Dolphins, with the Titans parlay. So
I'm glad you brought that up. I don't want to scare you off of them, but do you not think that that's a little bit of a fish line? Thinking like, hey, the Titans just got off some pretty good. I mean, they're in good standing right now. Let me pull up their.
Yeah, they just beat the Colts last week.
Yeah, they just beat the Colts last week to secure the division lead. Excuse me. Ryan Tannehill's a little banged up. Their offense hasn't been humming. They've been grinding out victories.
They
You get the Texans, who just got blown out by the Raiders, coming back home.
Yeah,
Man, it just looks like a fish line to me is all I'm saying.
They covered their last 4 against the spread. They were +2, beat Vegas outright. +4, they beat the Colts outright. +1, they beat the Commanders outright. -2.5, they just covered against Indy again. So I don't know, man. I'll fall for the trap if it's a trap, but I
That's
cannot
a -2.
not bet
I thought
this.
it was a 7.
No,
And I think it
-2.
opened 3. I saw a guy that I follow. I think his name's Adam Chernoff. He took the Texans +3, but you come in at -2 though. I like that.
Yeah. Can your ex take care of the Titans, Ben?
I don't like. I mean, I wouldn't think so. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not. You got to be getting a field goal with the Texans, bro. In my opinion, you know what I mean. But a game that stuck out here to me is the 49ers and the Rams.
Okay.
You have that opinion on one side?
Yeah, I mean, 1.5 coming off of that embarrassing loss against the Chiefs. You know, now McCaffrey will be the starter for the 49ers. They own the Rams, right? I mean, dating back to last year, didn't they beat them 3 times last year? Like, they own the Rams.
Already beat them once.
The Rams don't have a running back to speak of. And, I mean, Cooper Kupp, I think the 49ers have seen Cooper Kupp enough to see, okay, maybe, you know, we can let this guy do what he does, but everything else might get shut down. And we usually always, you know, they have the shit, the word, I can't get the word, but like they have the
Niners?
They have like the game plan. They have
the strategy,
the recipe. Yeah, they have the recipe just to beat the Rams, bro. So at 1.5, I mean, they pretty much just got to win the game. I like the 49ers.
Coming off back-to-back losses in Atlanta, which was surprising, and then they lost against KC. So going against a division rival, you think they got to get hyped up for this game for sure. They don't want to go 0-3 in their last 3.
They win this one, they probably, you know, can secure up the division because the Cardinals. Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm shitting on the Seahawks still, bro. I gotta start thinking Seahawks for real. My bad.
You're good. All right.
Definitely.
Any other looks here?
The only other one that I was going to throw out there, and it was just along the line of like maybe being a fish line, like I mentioned with the Texans and Titans, is that Raiders and Saints game. The Raiders might be a very big public side. They're coming off that huge victory against the Texans. The offense looked good. Josh Jacobs looked like a workhorse. Saints looked to be reeling a little bit. Just got beat down by the Cardinals. They're at home again. I mean, my initial look would be to look at the Raiders here, but I'm just thinking, shouldn't this line be maybe Raiders -2.5, maybe touching 3? I don't know. Or what do you guys think?
I actually looked at that game as well right before I looked at the Houston Tennessee game. Vegas, just like you said, beat Houston 38-20, covered the 7 points. We saw what happened in Kansas City where they barely lost by 1. You know, Devontae Adams is over there pushing, you know, cameramen down the tunnel and apologizing to, you know, later. They beat the Broncos as well. They have a lot of momentum. Jacobs, like you said, absolutely tore it up. Ben was talking about Olave off camera. What do you guys think of this on the on the New Orleans side? Because we already know all the storyline with Vegas. What's the storyline for the Saints, and why is the line the way it is?
This is the Alvin Kamara game, bro. Alvin Kamara's finally going to get into the end zone, hopefully more than once. But it's just, I think that people have – I pushed Carr off the hill a couple weeks back. I think people have learned not to back Derek Carr in situations like this. New Orleans, you know, tends to be a tough place to play for the most part. You know, right now they're having quarterback problems. But still, that defense, they can get nasty. They can get after him. I think that it is a trap spot. And like Roland said, that the Raiders are going to be a huge public side. And for the most part, you don't want to be on one of the bigger public sides for the week. It's usually doesn't end well, you know, most of the time.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
I see the Saints squeaking out maybe a 3-point win.
That's a good point about the, you know, being one of the larger public sides. I'm interested to see what that split is on Sunday. We'll make sure to bring that up. But I think that's it for the look ahead lines. Is there anything else you guys wanted to touch on before we talk a little fantasy to wrap up the night?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
All right, let's get to it. We got a little fantasy buy or sell for you guys today, changing it up a little bit. We got 3 running backs up on here. We're doing buy or sell with the fantasy running backs. We all know how valuable these guys are at this time of the year. We're starting it off with none other than the Gus Bus. Gus Edwards, first game back. I think he touched like 18 or 19 PPR fantasy points for the Ravens. Came back immediately, was their guy just after Kenyon Drake came in and had a pretty good performance. Had people thinking he might be the guy. Nope, it's Gus Edwards. So the question to you guys is, are you buying or selling Gus Edwards as a running back 2 the rest of the year?
Benjamin, you want me to go?
Go ahead. This is you wanted to talk about the Gus Bus.
Yeah.
So
all right,
give us your thoughts.
All right, Gus Bus. All right, surprise to the people in the Madero League. I'm playing Dukes Newcomb, who is also 6-1, and I'm going to take him down, and I'm going to do it with the Gus Bus. I never use my waivers. I mean, once or twice a year, so I'm always the number 1 waiver option, and I am using my number 1 waiver option, so I guaranteed I'm going to get this guy on my squad, and he's going to run me to a win over Dukes Newcomb. Gus Edwards, he's going to go off. We already saw what the other running backs we know their names, we know their credibility. They're solid backs, but nobody who's going to take over a backfield. He got into the end zone twice last week already. So I think it was 13 months off of that injury. So some say, yeah, he might be a little bit banged up still. He's, coming off. It's a pitch count kind of thing. I didn't see any of that. He's rested. He's ready to go. And with J.K. Dobbins not in the picture at all, feed this guy the rock. Get him on your fantasy lineups because he's going to go off. I'm throwing the check on the Gus Bus. Buy this dude.
Yeah, I think you got to buy it. Biggest thing is he's been there the longest. He knows the system. You saw as soon as he was ready to go, it was his backfield. So he's a guy that when he's healthy and he's getting the rock, he's producing. So as long as he's healthy, I think that he's going to be an auto start, especially for a team that loves to run the ball, right? Who doesn't want, the leading back for the Baltimore Ravens, a team that notoriously is just their MO is run. So yeah, I'm buying Gus Edwards auto start.
Yeah, I'm buying Gus Edwards here too. We're all on the Gus Edwards train here. We're all on the Gus Bus rather. Let me correct myself there. His usage is going to be up there. They're on a running football team. Again, it's centered around Lamar Jackson, but they need a stable running back there. So they're going to lean on Gus Edwards. I like him as a running back too. The next guy on the list here, I'm hoping we're all buying this as well. Travis Etienne, buy or sell as a running back 1. The reason why I say I hope that we're all buying it is because I'm buying Travis Etienne as a running back 1 the rest of the year. We didn't talk about it in the news and notes, but James Robinson did get traded to the Jets. And this is after Travis Etienne kind of had like his coming out party, if you will, 14 carries, 114 yards, and 1 touchdown. And he did that without really doing anything in the passing game. And that's what he was known for, his receiving prowess. And his receiving really hasn't been there. So you got to think with James Robinson out of the way, he's going to have more opportunity to get involved in that passing game. He's going to be even more of a bell cow. So maybe those 14 carries turns into like a 17 or 18 a game or something like that. So I'm all in on Travis Etienne. I like this Jags offense. They're not winning a lot of games, but give me Travis Etienne as a fantasy running back 1 in PPR leagues. I'm all in.
Yeah, the magic number for him, I think, is 15 plus. If he can get to 15, he's going to be really effective because when he gets his touches, he's explosive, man. It's usually, positive yardage when he touches the ball. It's nice seeing him wearing number 1 too. And, when he's running through the holes and
hell yeah,
juking people out and shit. He had a really long run this past week. So I'm buying it as well. I mean, they shipped off Robinson, sayonara Robinson. He's a New York Jet now. So Etienne, for sure, running back 1.
I like it as well. I think he had, it says here, 57 of 71 offensive snaps and 15 touches for 119 yards from scrimmage and a touchdown. The backfield's all his. He's already familiar, as we know, with college quarterback Trevor Lawrence. They have a good rapport. I like what you said about the Jags offense. Christian Kirk is another guy on that offense who a lot of people didn't see. He had great weeks coming out. He's back at it again after a couple weeks off. It's a good offense. They move the ball well. He catches the ball extremely well, like Roland said. So this is a guy, he could potentially be a PPR beast, and definitely buy all in. He's probably not available. So real quick, would you guys trade, or not?
It's going to be hard. The asking price right now on Travis Etienne is very high. Okay. I think that he wasn't somebody that people were starting, for most of the year. I think people started him at the beginning of the season. And then Robinson, was the guy. So people held back a bit. They weren't even flexing him. But as of late, you can see why they traded Robinson and why now they're giving him the entire backfield. They wasted a pretty high draft pick on him last year, the first-round pick. Mm-hmm. Like you said, 15-plus touches is a key. But, the asking price right now, because those people held on, and now their little flower's about to bloom, baby. Travis Etienne, he's about to bloom.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. The asking price for Travis Etienne could not be higher right now. I mean, if you have the assets to try and to do it without completely gutting your team, by all means, go for it. But Etienne's running back one the rest of the year. If you have him on your team, good on you for holding on. Shout out to Allen, a true tough loss for the Giants, but Jags, that offense is going to be live the rest of the year. Shout out to Allen in the comments. And Edgar, what's up?
What up?
The real Diaz in the house.
All right, and last but not least,
let's get to this bum, bro.
I feel like Ben might have some strong opinions on this one. They might not be so positive, but without further ado, Najee Harris. Are you buying or selling Mr. Najee Harris as a running back 2 for the rest of the year? And I say running back 2, and that's already disappointing because you drafted him as a running back 1. So Ben, take the stage. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Najee Harris, the Steelers in general have been rather disappointing aside from, that Bucs win, which was it's not looking like the greatest win. But Najee Harris, that O-line has been pathetic. Najee Harris, there's just really not much explosiveness, bro. It's kind of just that running back hey, run straight into the damn line, fall forward 3 yards. We'll do that twice, and hopefully we'll have 3rd and short, bro. You know what I mean? There's nothing to it. It's so bland. It's horrible. His fantasy, 23 yards rushing week 1, 49 yards week 2, 56, 74, 20, 42, 65. He's not even sniffing 100, bro. I'm over under 1.5 100-yard rushing games for Najee Harris. That's where I'm at right now this whole season.
Damn.
I don't see it. I got offered Najee Harris for Chris Olave today in a trade, and I didn't even really think about it. I was like, Najee Harris, the Steelers offense, auto decline. So I want nothing to do with Najee Harris. I mean, he's full.
You gave him the hand?
Bro, I didn't even give him the hand, bro. It was just decline, no message back, no reasoning. Just decline, because if I was gonna message him, it was gonna be like, "Hey, bro, don't disrespect me like that ever again, bro."
Damn, no. That's where we're at with Najee right now.
Oh yeah, well, we want no parts of Najee. No, the only Steelers that are viable options are Muth, the tight end, and George Pickens seems to be the receiver getting the TD. So yeah.
And to answer your question, I'm under on over 1.5 100-yard rushing games the rest of the year for Najee, because I only see him getting it in potentially 2 games against Atlanta, maybe, and Carolina. But even then, Carolina has a pretty live defense. Maybe he has a chance against Las Vegas. But
yeah, maybe the Raiders. But I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it either. I'm selling Najee. I don't want any piece of him. The thought last year was, hey, he's going to be really effective in the receiving game because Ben likes to dump it down. That has completely evaporated. We talked about it preseason. It took him almost 300, 400 touches to get the stats that he got last year, and we knew that there's going to be a reduction in stats. So, I mean, a reduction in touches. So, yeah, I'm not bothering with Najee either.
I went from dump off Ben to Kenny Pickens. And the thing is, the Steelers are going to be losing a lot, so they're not going to be really needing to run the ball. So, yeah, maybe his rushing numbers are low and the attempts aren't there, but it's just the game flow, the game script for the Steelers is always going to be down and passing. And then that's where we get the excuses about, Kenny threw another pick.
Situationally.
Because it's an obvious passing down, 3 quarters. As soon as the first quarter's over, it's just obvious passing downs from there on out. So, yeah, I'm out on Najee.
This is it's consensus, obviously, huge consensus. And I'm sad, man, because this is the 1 year where our pregame show or our preseason show, divisional show, I was like, black and yellow. It's Steelers train too. Wally was happy. Diego was happy, and just terrible. Maybe I gave him the side. Who knows? But this is a great spot for Najee owners, though, because if you want to trade him, you can maybe still get some, not an Olave,
but
but
horrible spot for Najee owners, Ron.
No, it's not.
There's no way it's a great spot, Ron.
Because you can trade him for some decent, pickups. I mean, if you need, somebody later, he has a game, and it's somebody that you can't automatically say no to. If somebody's going to trade you Najee Harris, you can't automatically say no. Obviously, depending on who the player is, but if you're a Najee owner, you could potentially get somebody pretty solid back. I'm just trying to look.
Get yourself DJ Moore for Najee Harris.
Sure, you might be able to. I don't know. I'm just out on Najee. I don't know what I would accept. I mean, I'm thinking of a guy that's around his level right now, but I mean, it's not even a net. It's a net negative or whatever. But like Cortland Sutton for Najee, would you?
Yeah, or like Michael Pittman or Najee Harris.
Yeah, if I'm just saying, if it's a guy, if it's a guy though who doesn't have any running backs, or one of their running backs just went out, let's just say Breece Hall, yeah, Breece Hall, maybe Swift hasn't been playing. If you own them, just something like that, and the guy desperately needs a running back, and he says, "All right, I'll take Najee. I'll give you something." It could happen. Just look.
Yeah, well, the guy needs to be desperate at running back for sure, and he might pull that trade. I can see that happening. I can see that happening. There are guys who are desperate at this point in the year that need a name like that, and they might make that trade. That's a good point. There's always somebody out there. Let me tell you, I have experience. There's somebody out there that'll take that bait. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody that I thought about putting up here, but because we've heard trade talks, but if you're playing fantasy, I think right now, maybe not too many people have heard, but try and go get Kareem Hunt. I think that Kareem Hunt's going to end up getting moved, and he's going to be getting a lot of touches somewhere. I don't think that you have to give up much for somebody like Kareem Hunt. I like going out and buying Kareem Hunt right now before he gets traded and ends up in a position like Travis Etienne, to where then the guy's like, oh no, bro, he's got the whole backfield, and they want the world.
That's
for
true.
it.
That's true. That's a very good point. I might be. I have Kareem Hunt in one league, so that's good news.
Yeah, same
for me.
To piggyback on that, I like the Kareem Hunt move because we saw he came out publicly at the beginning of the year and said he wanted to be traded, so it could still potentially happen.
Talk is the Bills, and the Bills didn't score on McCaffrey, so hopefully.
Yeah. Good call out on Hunt, Ben. And last question here, unless we get any other questions for buy or sell. What up, Izzy? His question here is buy or sell Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's had a decent season. The backfield is always a little murky. We just saw the Chiefs score a bunch of touchdowns with McCole Hardman on sweeps. Not what you want to see if you're a backfield owner of the Chiefs. What are you guys thinking here? Are you trying to sell Clyde Edwards for what you can get?
This week, bro, I was talking to a homie about fantasy Sunday or Saturday or Sunday morning, and then it was like, oh, the Chiefs said Pacheco's going to get the start.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Wild, bro.
And then people went and rushed to get Pacheco, and I bought into it. I'm like, well, I haven't heard of this shit. Okay, I guess they said it.
He did get the start, but it was all committee.
But he got 4 carries, bro. Yeah. Pacheco got 4 touches.
He got the start.
Yeah. Do we sell Helaire? Helaire has been a beast. If you started him, you've been good. But like Roland said, McCole Hardman got 2 rushing touchdowns. Williams, anytime Williams touches the ball, another guy wearing number 1, but he just does great things with it. Or McKinnon, I'm sorry, not Williams. But every time he touches the ball, bro, it's just positive gains. So I think right now, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, his stock has been high. I think it's still pretty high. I would try and trade him. Would you all rather have Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Najee Harris rest of the year?
Clyde, just
Not
because of
even
the
close,
offense,
right?
bro. Yeah,
So would you rather have Helaire or Gus Edwards?
Gus Edwards.
Gus Edwards.
He's
He's
like
more
the
stable.
only dude there.
He's more stable.
He's the only dude. And it's crazy because Edwards-Helaire had 22, 15, 14, and 22 again the first 4 weeks. But since then, he's had 6 points, 3 points, and 9 points. And that 9 points, he scored a tutty. So without that touchdown, he would have had put up another 3 yards. And they're going into the bye this week. So I think if you are going to try to move him, you need to move him now because his stock is going down.
Yeah, the deadline's November 1st. But yeah, talks have been, wanted out. So, oh man, this is going to be good. Edgar said buy or sell Terry McLaurin just before we get out of here, before we finish up.
Well, I like Allen's question too. We need to get to Allen's.
Terry McLaurin had a pretty big week this week, finally. I mean, not the biggest week, but he had obviously a huge catch at the end of the game for the Commanders to seal that win.
18 points.
Yeah, 18 points. Not bad. His ceiling, to me, Edgar, is just not very high. His ceiling and his floor, there's just not that much room. So I'm selling on McLaurin. Didn't draft him in any leagues this year. Haven't looked to go after him. So
I'm selling McLaurin. I mean, if I have him on my team, I might want to sell him on that high. If you can't sell him though, I mean, at least you can take away that hey, Heineke and him do have some rapport dating back to the last few years when Heineke's come in, and including last year when they went with Heineke as the starter. So maybe you can get some solace in that. But yeah, I'm not a buyer of McLaurin.
Heineke does sling it. Heineke slings it.
Same. He's had 2 touchdowns through 7 weeks only. So not really a big touchdown guy either. He has to get his yards mostly through yards after catch or big plays down the field. So at only 2 touchdowns on the year, I'm probably going to sell him too.
So we're all selling Scary Terry. And just to clarify what we said for CEH, for Izzy, I think we're saying that we're in on him. We like his production. He's a good player, but trade him if you can. So it's one of those weird situations where he's had performance, but we don't know if it's going to hold up just because of the way the backfield looks and the way that offense runs. So try and sell him now if you can, Izzy. That's what we're trying to say.
Yeah, or if he's on your lineup, don't necessarily start him either.
Yeah,
I don't. It's because I don't know what situation that he's in as far as selling him. But
that was buy or sell, a topic that we'll probably incorporate in some of our look aheads on a go forward. Probably hit a different position of pause next week. Probably do the wide receiver position or tight end maybe, and then go from there. But thank you guys for all of your comments and keep the comments and questions coming, and we'll get to them throughout the podcast. But we are wrapping up tonight. This is our social media. We talking about sports. You can always find us on Facebook, where most of you guys are watching us right now. We are on Twitter and Instagram as well, where Ron and Justin are real good with the reels. Keep some content coming for you guys daily. Anything you guys have for parting shots?
Yeah, man, big announcement coming up on Sunday. We have something really cool for you guys. We got together with some of the partners that joined the show, and big announcement Sunday. I think everybody's gonna like it. We're looking forward to it. We're excited about it. But you got to watch Sunday, 10 a.m. or 10:30, 11. We'll let you know. But Sunday, we got an announcement. Like I said, it's just exciting. It's fun, and I think it'll be cool for not just us, but for all the boys and all the crew and everybody who supports us.
Good deal. And Ben, you got any predictions for your Stros?
Go say my parting shot right here. The Diaz, no, baby. The Astros take priority. Astros take priority. That's the one team that all the Diaz brothers can agree on, baby. We're all Astros fans. And we still fight about it. And we still find a way to fight about it. The bullpen's not good enough. The bullpen is good enough. We need another starter. No, we have no starters. So we still find a way. But Friday, baby, game 1. In Houston, the Phillies have been hot. The Phillies are no joke. It seems like Bryce Harper is like playing the best baseball of his life right now, completely locked in, but the Astros haven't lost a game, baby. So it's going to be a good 4-game series. The Astros are going to win another World Series, and the cheating stuff is going to be, dead and gone, baby, dead and gone.
Are we saying should we pod Friday for just a World Series prediction?
I'm on the clock Friday for the most part,
okay,
so
okay.
you know
No worries.
I'll be catching the game right when I get out. I think the game starts at 7:30. I get out at 8, but
Alright.
I mean I wouldn't mind going on late at night. But yeah, man, big
Alright.
World Series, and you
Post
know,
game.
yeah. Look at this, Roland. Look at this, Roland. I know that the association is your alley. Look at this right here. Lakers fan, got to get in the Lakers one time before the show ends. No rust tonight, Roland.
And before the season, you know, completely is washed away. You know, he's got to get those comments out. But hey, maybe I'm seeing some rumors they might be trading for Terry Rozier. Might get some firepower in that backcourt. So who knows? I don't think they're making the playoffs though, Alan. But we definitely got to have a pull-up sesh as the NBA comes into full swing. Excuse me. Yeah. So yeah.
Hey, what I will say about the Lakers, listen, I think that no rust tonight. The Lakers haven't gotten a win. They're 0-3. They're catching 5 against the Nuggets tonight. I think no rust. AD and LeBron got to come out, send a message. Look, without Russ on the court, the spacing's better. We can just score. The defense has been there for the Lakers. They've been playing pretty decent defense. It's just the shots are just not there. No Russ tonight. I think they send a message. I think the Lakers win their first game tonight, boys.
Woo!
I think they take care of Denver. The 5 points, you know, just that extra sauce. Give me the 5.
You hear that, Alan? Go to the book. Tell them you want to take that +5 or even the money line, and say it's on Ben tonight.
And you know I don't. And you know I'm not even like that with the Lakers. But you know,
make sure to
it's a
say
good
it's
spot.
on Ben.
It's a good spot.
Make sure to say it's on Ben tonight. All right, guys. That's what we talking about sports. That was our Wednesday night look ahead pod. Talk to you guys on Sunday.
Peace.